Mainstream media ignores signs of strong economy. Does the mainstream media get it wrong?
It's not so much that they get it wrong, as they don't tell you what's going on in the entire economy. They only focus on the bad news and bury the main story of what's actually happening. Consider this headline story from the Washington Post. It's Friday, November 2nd. Stocks tumble as investors get bad news on Citigroup. Well, Citigroup is a bank. They've had to write off a lot of mortgages in the housing crisis. It's a real problem in the economy, what's going on in the housing sector. And the papers report that. It's front page news. Now, what they don't report so much is what's going on in the rest of the economy. Take a look at Saturday's paper, which discusses the jobs report. Well, you've got to go all the way down to section D1, which most people don't actually get to find out what happened with the employment report. Employers created 166,000 new jobs, and a lot of those were in professional and business services, an above-average paying sector of the economy. These are good jobs, and it's been 50 straight months of consecutive job creation. The economy has been growing for 6 straight years. In the last quarter, it grew at a 3.9% rate. That's not only well above a recession, that's above average historical growth levels. But that doesn't get the front page treatment. The economy is doing well, but when you read the front page of the paper, you don't hear about it.
How does the average American's standard of living compare to that of the 1970s?
Well, if you listen to some economists, they're going to tell you that the typical American family isn't doing any better now than they were in the late 1970s. Now, on the face of it, it's ridiculous. I mean, just think about all the things we have now that we didn't have in the 1970s. But they go through these studies and they seem to show that wages have been stagnant for most Americans. But in fact, as a new study from the Minneapolis Federal Reserve reveals, this just isn't the case. One, a lot of these studies use the wrong measure of inflation. They use a measure that makes it look like prices have risen faster than they are. And two, they forget that workers' incomes is more than just their cash wages. It also includes fringe benefits. Things like health insurance, which is a lot better now than in the 1970s. Things like employer contributions towards retirement plans. Things like paid time off, all contribute to workers' well-being. When you take these factors into account, you find that the wages for the median American family, the typical American, have gone up by 28% since the late 1970s. Americans are living better now than ever before.
The economy has enjoyed 50 months of consecutive job growth, a dramatic rise in median wages, 6 straight years of expansion.
For more information, log on to heritage.org.